This is our clinical trial, where these are the different partners. We're looking at 76 military veterans that have treatment-resistant post-traumatic stress. The first and only randomized controlled trial in the world looking at cannabis for PTSD. We ordered 8 kilograms of cannabis from the US government. But this is what it looks like, right? It comes to the scientists frozen in these sandwich bags, basically. These are little Ziploc bags. It's frozen, we pour it out. It's basically like a green powder. I mean, I'm sure, you know, from what your impressions or what cannabis should look like, most people look at that and don't even believe it's cannabis. But this is how they standardize the cannabis. They take different strains and they blend them into this powder. And this is what we're forced to work with. So this is the only federally legal supply of marijuana for any of these controlled trials. We are the first research team in the US to ever do secondary testing on federal government cannabis. Can you believe this? And it's nobody's fault except the government. The researchers, I'm sure, have wanted to conduct this secondary testing, but they make it so impossible to do that. They have a chain of command where you're only allowed to send the federal government cannabis to a Schedule I licensed lab. The first round of lab testing showed excessively high levels of mold, of fungus in all of the batches that we received. So we received 4 different batches, one with high THC, one with high CBD, things like that. So anyway, all of them had skyrocketed levels of mold and then and excessively high levels of lead as well. So then we did a second round of testing at a different lab that also had a Schedule I license, and it also showed high levels of mold and all, but it didn't show the lead, and it didn't show any other contaminants. Since we're doing a smoking study, all of the patients in the study will be smoking cannabis. So we decided to proceed because first of all, we don't have any other legal supply of cannabis that we're allowed to use. So this was our only option. And we felt that because people were smoking, that the mold would be burned off through the process of combustion. But believe me, we didn't want to use this study drug, and we continue pressuring our government to try to force them to license other growers for research. But in the meantime, we're stuck with this. That aflatoxin and mycotoxins were negative. So that's another reason we felt like we could. So it must have been some kind of benign mold forms, you know, that's why but still, it's just unfortunate that our government can't produce cannabis without mold. I mean, we've been doing studies for years on HIV patients who are immunosuppressed, and the idea that our government is giving them moldy cannabis is pretty discouraging.
Gojenje medicinske konoplje je v tehničnem in strokovnem smislu zelo zahtevno, saj je potrebno zagotoviti visoke standarde kakovosti, varnosti in učinkovitosti preparatov.
Dejstvo je, da uvajanje konoplje v medicino poteka v Sloveniji sorazmerno s tem, tako kot poteka v državah, ki imajo v medicini in v farmaciji podobne standarde, se pravi visoke standarde.